born in Cameroon, fighting out of Paris, France, Francis the Predator Ngannou. 3 wins by submission, 2 by knockout. He has finished all of his victories. Dami comes in, winner of 4 straight.
Ngannou, you know, the thing about this guy is he wants to just strike with you. We were just talking about Luis Henrique being a brawler, but, you know, Francis brings a little bit more of a technical standpoint to his striking. He likes to utilize his jab to set up his power. He likes to move his feet a little bit. He's got some head movement in there, whereas Luis Henrique has more of a stalking Muay Thai style. Francis Ngannou has been able to mix it up a little bit with some boxing and the kicks mixed in there. But in both of these fights that I've seen, they both are heavy to stay in that clinch, and they like to work the grappling to kind of wear down their opponents before they start mixing it up with the hands. And I think that that comes a lot with these heavier guys because they know it only takes 1 punch to put them out.
And Ngannou, as you see, as he gets undressed, is a huge man, carrying around a lot of muscle mass, big, heavy guy with a lot of power to him. And this is going to be a fun way to start off this fight pass.
2 big heavyweights, both making their UFC debut. Luis Henrique and this man, Francis Ngannou.
How about the length of those arms that he has, though? His arms go all the way down to his knees.
He's huge, and he's got enormous feet. That was one thing that I was looking when he's standing on the scale. I mean, this is a big, big man.
I just wonder what his reach looks like, seriously. I mean, his reach has to be out of control. His arms are so long, and that's so difficult to deal with a striker and a grappler on the takedowns. When you get in that clinch and they can lock their hands and wrap their arms all the way around you, it changes things.
One thing is going to be interesting is he's carrying around a lot of mass, Dominic. And you look at all that muscle's got to be fed. This is a big, big guy. And it's a lot of oxygen requirements we're looking at.
Couldn't agree more. I wouldn't know about all that muscle mass.
Joe would.
I know about getting tired. That's what I know about.
There you go. Our tale of the tape for this heavyweight fight. Dominic and Joe talked about the reach. We'll take a look at it. 29-year-old Ngannou, 22-year-old Henrique. Ngannou, 2 inches taller. The weight's pretty similar, but look at that, Dom. 9-inch reach advantage. Going to be a great way to get things started here in Orlando with the official introductions. Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record. 8 wins, 1 loss, 1 no contest. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 248 pounds. Fighting out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Luis K.O.B. Henrique. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record. 5 wins, 1 loss. He stands 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 254 pounds. Fighting out of Paris, France, Francis the Predator Ngannou. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, John Hosegood.
John Hosegood, our referee. Count them 5 Octagon girls here. Second time in Orlando, Florida. The other 2 are hiding.
Ready red?
Ngannou.
Ready blue?
Henrique. And here we go. White trunks for Henrique. Thank you, Joe. Dark trunks for Francis Ngannou. 9-inch reach advantage, 83-inch reach for Ngannou. And he attacks with the heavy leg kick early. Dom, how should Henrique look to counter this reach advantage that his opponent has?
He needs to mix in some feints in there and try to get Ngannou to throw something before he's ready for it. He's got to bring out the strikes of Ngannou early with the fakes, and that will help.
And there's that wrestling. Very nice takedown. Caught the kicks, got him on his back, and let's see how Ngannou works off of his back here.
In the past, he's worked well to get an underhook from half guard and stand up with that, as I've seen Ngannou do, but with the brown belt on top of him and his guard closed, I think he's gonna have a hard time getting up early in this fight when they're dry, too.
And again, as we said, Henrique has wrestling talent as well.
He was on the Brazilian wrestling team, as Joe talked about, while he was entering the octagon. Brazilian wrestling champion, looking for some ground and pound early. Trying to posture up.
Got to look out for these up kicks.
Yeah, good use of the up kicks by Ngannou.
Look at the size of the feet of Ngannou. I mean, that is a big man.
Well, we're in the house that Shaquille O'Neal built, so we've seen this before here.
Henrique,
careful with the fingers.
In full guard here, not looking to pass at all yet.
Be careful with the fingers.
First of 3 fights here live on UFC Fight Pass. Mike Goldberg, Dominic Cruz with us. Joe Rogan, as always. Top position for the Brazilian.
Ngannou holding that overhook. He was on the right arm of Henrique, but he let that go. Not really doing too much off of his back, just kind of hanging on.
Still happy to work with guard.
He keeps going to that overhook, but he's not doing anything with it. And Henrique's passing now. He's passing over the right side. He's in half guard now. He's softening him up and starting to move clockwise.
Ngannou really needs to get that left underhook that he's used in past fights. He's got the half guard. He needs to get that left underhook and get to a hip. He's flat on his back right now, and that's the worst place you can be.
And he's carrying the weight, all 240-plus pounds of Henrique, and that'll wear you out.
Yeah, Henrique's very aware of him looking for that underhook. That's one of the reasons why he keeps holding that overhook. Ngannou's just trying to hold on to that arm.
Half guard.
There's the underhook, and he needs to use that, undig his bottom leg. He needs to get out of that half guard. Now he needs to get the underhook back.
Yeah, see how quickly Henrique recognizes that, takes it back.
All right, stop right there, stop right there.
There we go, he's standing up. John looks good.
And Dom, do you think that's like because he just didn't move to a dominant position? I mean, he was in a place where it wasn't much of a half guard. It was pretty wide open. And if he moved to a more dominant position, they probably would have let him stay down.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, maybe pass from half guard, but the thing is you can hold guys down in half guard forever. There's the double leggy switch, the jab to a power double that Ngannou was able to stuff. I think Ngannou likes the space, but he's spent a lot of his time in these type of brawls where they're in the clinch for a long period of the fight, and he showed actually great conditioning. He wore the guy out in the clinch and was just fine even after he got taken down. So I'm interested to see how he comes back against Henrique here.
Yeah, Henrique with the clinch here, up against the cage. A lot of pressure.
Ngannou had that one knee that landed, guys, and he's looking to do that again. And you can see Henrique trying to really close the distance, not allow those strikes in dirty boxing.
Right here, in order to escape, if I'm Ngannou with my back against the cage, I really need to worry about my head positioning here. Right now, Henrique is controlling the head positioning, and that's a huge thing to deal with the amount of pressure that Henrique is able to put on Ngannou up against the cage. He needs the inside position where his underhook's at, so Ngannou needs to move his head to the same side as his underhook to create space.
And Joe and Dom, that's one thing that isn't often talked about probably enough is how much head fighting has to do with success in the octagon.
It really is critical. Positioning of that, oh, nice right hand by Ngannou.
And he's staying long now, and that's what he wants to do. Ngannou wants to stay long in this fight. Stay on the outside, land some more of those leg kicks, and set up the leg kicks so he doesn't get it caught and taken down again.
Pushing forward, Henrique.
Ooh, heavy.
Heavy shots by
Big
Ngannou.
shots.
Henrique's trying to cover up and clinging onto that single.
Yeah, he ate a heavy counter left hook and then shot to a single off that left hook. He said, ouch. I'm going to go ahead and go down to the legs off that one.
He caught him with a couple coming in, round 1 in the books.
Good first round.
Very good. And Henrique he's ready to brawl, man. That guy just wants to get after it. He comes in a straight line, throwing heat, and he's like, all right, if you hit me, I'm just going to hit you harder. And that's where you saw the athleticism of Ngannou right now. He's able to step backwards with a counter left hook and land.
Sit down. Breathe. 1, 2, 3. Come on. That was a tough round, man. You had a good throw. It might have been done the difference. We have to get this second round now, man. Let's believe in ourselves. Get near him. Make him get near the cage so you can get near him and get single leg. Put the hook behind him and take him down. Don't try diving at him.
Let's take a look at some of the action from that first round. Here's Ngannou with a hard leg kick. And Henrique really caught the second one, got him down, and spent the majority of the round on top here. And here you see some good action. Boom. There's that shot you were talking about.
And it was actually a counter right.
And Dom, that's what his corner was talking about. Don't lean in on those takedown attempts.
Exactly. I mean, he came running forward with his arms out, kind of like a mummy, and he paid for it with an overhand right.
One of those in a heavyweight fight, honestly, one of those in most every fight, can end it quickly, especially when you've got two heavy-handed heavyweights, both making their UFC debuts. Francis Ngannou in the black trunks, Luis Henrique in the white trunks.
Nganou's had some real success with that right low kick. He just needs to set it up so he doesn't get taken down by Henrique this time. Just throw a little bit of hands before and finish with it, and then he can land it more.
There's a good right hand over the top, and he anticipated the clinch, got out of the way. Good sharp stand-up from Ngannou.
This is where he wants the fight to be. Combination followed up.
But he's loading up every shot, really tensing up, putting everything into these punches. Ooh, nice knee.
Looking for the plum clinch.
Henrique getting low here, looking for that double. He's got his hands connected. Let's see if he can execute it.
Ngannou 6'4", Henrique 6'2".
Good defense by Ngannou.
Really wide stance, distance strikes. Ngannou 12, Henrique just 4.
And now Henrique in the position that his corners is telling him to get into, going on the double on the cage, and look for him to reach behind with his legs, behind the legs of Ngannou, and try to pull the leg out with his legs.
Does that mean you speak Portuguese because you knew they were saying that?
Actually, we have a very good translator that's in my ear.
I like that. Round 2. Fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
Dom, what's your feelings on that, of breaking guys up in the cage when they're trying to work?
You know, this ref has broken these guys up on a couple occasions that I thought was a little different, but I mean, they're heavyweights, so I think he's just trying to keep the pace high. I think it actually favors Ngannou in that situation, but here we are again right here. Henrique put the fight where he wants it. He's got double underhooks and head position, and this can really stop the reach of Ngannou, and that's the type of fight that Henrique needs to have. He needs to stay close, stay in the pocket, and look for heavy shots when they're punching, and stay close and look for takedowns up against the cage, and that's how he wins.
Yeah, I'd like to see Henrique mix his takedown attempts up, chain them together too. He keeps going to the same attack over and over again, and then Ngannou is stuffing it each and every time. Oh,
yeah,
good
he's
combination.
bloodied up too.
Oh, nice
Henrique bloodied up.
And you're starting to see Henrique go for the shot because he's tired on the feet, and that's the truth.
And Ngannou with some serious power.
Ngannou knows it.
Yeah, he's done. That's it. That's it.
It's all over.
Wow.
Knockout. Francis Ngannou.
Wow.
Vicious uppercut.
Serious power from Ngannou. That left uppercut was nasty.
Gosh, you guys got a good seat here. That was incredible.
This is the best seat in the house, buddy.
This is where we watch you fight. Not enough lately, but a lot coming up.
Don't remind me,
I won't. I promise. I promise.
Man,
coming soon.
Outstanding combinations from Ngannou. Look at this right hand. Sneaks through, catches him on the temple, had him hurt. And a barrage. Look at this left uppercut, and that's the end of the fight right there. He landed one more shot afterwards, but he was completely out. He landed that one on the neck, actually.
You know, you don't see a lot of 4 to 5 piece combinations from big heavyweights, and that's something that Ngannou did very well, and that's what made the difference in this fight. I mean, if you're throwing 1 or 2 heavy shots as a heavyweight, it's much easier to block with your arms up, but with 4 or 5 punch combinations from uppercuts to hooks to straights, it's extremely hard to defend that, especially when you're tired the way Henrique was.
And you had said right before that flurry, Dom, that you could see Henrique was starting to tire out.
You know, when you start forcing takedowns without setting them up the way Joe was saying, you know as an opponent that this guy's getting tired. He didn't set that takedown up. I can feel it. And then you got to put the pressure on with the hands.
And Ngannou had such an advantage in the stand-up, especially with the power, as soon as they did separate, and Ngannou just started putting those combinations on him. Let's take one more look at it. Look at this beautiful left uppercut right in front of us watching it. I mean, that's just picture perfect.
Take a second look at it. That's nasty.
That is a pretty 5.
Absolutely. And he had
That's what we
1,
call
2,
that.
3, and 4 first.
Yeah.
Great job by Francis Ngannou to make it official. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee John Hosgood has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 53 seconds of the second round, declaring the winner by knockout, Francis the Predator Ngannou.
All right, I'm here with the winner, Francis. Where you going? Oh, you gonna... Okay. He wants to check on him. A great show of class and respect by the winner. Congratulations. You're a very exciting prospect in this heavyweight division, my friend. That was a really, really impressive fight here. You showed excellent takedown defense, and the combination that you put him away with was really impressive.
Okay.
Translation?
Ok, tu as montré un beau combat, tu as montré du pied-point, tu as montré une bonne défense amenée au sol. Quelles sont tes impressions après ce combat?
Je l'ai bien senti. Bien sûr que c'était mon premier combat et j'étais un peu frustré, mais bon, ça s'est bien passé. J'ai eu confiance à mon style, à ma boxe et voilà, ça s'est passé tout à fait comme on avait prévu aux entraînements. Merci.
That was my first fight and I was a little bit nervous, but I keep on what I know. I know how to fight. I mean, the way I fight, which stay on my feet, and I did want a shoulder.
It seemed that towards the end of the fight, he started getting tired from the takedown attempts. That's when you turned on the heat with this combination. And if you take a look up at the big screen, you can see the end of the fight here.
Ok, si tu vois la fin du combat où il y a eu des combinaisons après ta défense quand il était essoufflé, tu vois bien que c'est à ce moment-là que le combat a changé de le cours.
Je voyais bien qu'à un certain moment, je savais bien qu'à un certain moment, ça devait changer. Donc, I just observe my game plan and I wait the good moment to attack very well.
Yeah, he said, I knew that at some point he will be tired. He will keep take me down, but I knew that at some point he will be tired, and I was sticking to the game plan, which was to get back to him as soon as he's tired.
Congratulations on a very impressive performance, sir. Francis Ngannou, ladies and gentlemen.
Winner in the second round by knockout in his UFC debut. UFC fans, fight